Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me are $2 billion revenge machines. It's David Cross and Megan Hoffmeyer.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
I like that quote.
I want to be known as a relentless dick on this podcast,
Oh my god.
which might be my favorite quote of the movie.
I mean, Sam Heughan is a relentless dick. And Bloodshot is the relentless dick.
Yes, but really it's Dalton who is.
100%.
Yeah, Dalton is a relentless dick.
Yeah, we were sitting there watching it, and I was thinking during the introductions, he goes from making jokes and being sort of like a nice, lovable, funny dick to just an outright monster by the end.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I mean, he puts gum everywhere. Of course he's a monster.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
He just spits it on the floor.
Ugh.
At the end, he gives up on sticking it under things, and he just hawks it. It's nasty.
You have this state-of-the-art facility, and there's just gum everywhere.
I mean, you would think with a guy with prosthetic feet with like $1 billion legs wouldn't want to step in gum, but
True.
literally gum up the system.
Sam Heughan, this was his first villainous role, and you could tell he really chewed into it because
He chewed the scenery.
he's always eating protein bars. He's always chewing on gum.
That's true.
And actually, real quick, happy Bloodshot Miss, everybody. This is our third Bloodshot episode. That's the second anniversary of Bloodshot. David and I have recorded two. Megan's joining us for the third. We are big fans of Bloodshot. This is an earnest episode. We are big fans of this movie, and we adore it.
Are there any
Heck,
updates
yeah,
on the
yeah.
sequel?
2021, November 2021, it was announced.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, so he had Fast 10, your seatbelt. Oh, he's probably working on Fast 10, your seatbelts.
Barf.
And then, they're probably working on the
I
script.
love Best, but that's crazy.
They're probably working on the script for this. But I don't know, Jeff Wadlow, he's too busy. He did Fantasy Island.
That movie's crazy.
So a couple updates since we recorded our 1-year anniversary of Bloodshot. The most popular episode between, I guess, now, like last year, March of last year to this year, it's been Never Back Down, which was directed by Jeff Wadlow, the writer of Bloodshot.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty fun announcement. Also, Xander Boetes, a frequent MFF contributor, wrote an article about dancing villains in movies. So if you're a villain, you better get your dancing shoes on. So when you're bored, go check out Xander Boetes, typed in cracked villain dancing, and you'll get a whole article about how Jokers dance and Sam Rockwell dances. And
Dancing villains are the best.
if you're a villain, does Tommy Lee Jones dance in Under Siege, or does he just performing? Remember, he's on stage playing all of his music.
Oof, I do not remember.
He wails on a
Movie where he
harmonica.
dances in. There has to be.
Does he? Well, actually, Jim Carrey dances in Batman Forever and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mhm.
He does a lot of villainous dancing in that. I'm pretty sure Tommy Lee Jones does a couple shuffles in Batman Forever.
Shuffles are the appropriate thing for Tommy Lee Jones. He doesn't cut a rug. I have something fun for you guys. So
Yeah.
It is Bloodshot Miss, and I've been thinking about how we could start incorporating traditions into this, other than just watching it and talking about it. So in front of me, I have 6 Bloodshots.
Ooh.
That's not a joke. I really do. Here's the good news, though. They're Shirley Temples. So throughout this episode, I will be drinking 6 tiny glasses of Shirley Temple.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'll get a red ale next time, and I'll dole it out into 6 shots as well. And I will chug it. Well, I mean, 12 ounces of beer during a 1-hour episode is not bad. I'll do 2 ounces every 10 minutes.
You do that. I mean, that's pretty easy. Yeah. I just had my first shot, and let me tell you, I made them too sweet. So we're gonna see how this goes.
You're gonna be bouncing off the walls, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
But isn't that cool? That, so Jeff Wadlow, he directed Never Back Down. That's Bloodshot's the movie that just keeps. I don't know. I feel like it's been really good to movies, films, and flicks, and all the creators like Vin Diesel. You know how much Fast and Furious coverage we've done on this? Asa Gonzalez pops up a lot. I mean, I'm a big Lamar Morris fan. On Deep Blue Sea, the podcast the other day, we were doing a Covenant episode, and we did a Toby Kebbell draft. We just drafted his movies. Guy Pearce, Ravenous. I think this crew. I mean, even J.J. Perry, he's done Mortal Kombat, Captain America, Civil War. He's been the fight coordinator on major movies that we've covered on this podcast. And you know what's interesting too? You know what we've never talked about, David, that I'm learning about now that for some reason we haven't talked about the last 2 years. You want to hear about it?
Yes.
Okay. So Eric Heiserer, he is one of the co-writers on this movie. He was nominated for an Oscar for Arrival, and he directed the Paul Walker movie Hours, which I really like. And he also wrote Bird Box. Now he's writing, get this, he's writing Van Helsing, the screenplay for that. And he writes Shadow and Bone on Netflix, which just got renewed for a second season. So you have Jeff Wildlow, successful director, writer. You have Eric Heiserer, successful writer. Like that, this is a big crew who worked on this movie.
Yeah, and it shows. I mean, I know it has not that great ratings, but I watched it again this weekend, and I like it. I still like it. And I was like, you know what? This is the perfect action vehicle for late career Vin Diesel, because he doesn't have to run very much, and he just throws haymakers. And what he can't do, CGI it. Like, it's perfect for him.
It's absolutely. And I mean, he's not going to be Iko Uwais in it. He's not going to be Joe Taslim in it. He's not going to be Tony Jaa in it. He is going to be a 45, 50-year-old man who's very burly punching things.
Well, I wanted to chat about the song that you brought up earlier. So Qu'est-ce que c'est is a great song for this. Like it fits perfectly. But I wanted to ask you, what is like a really disturbing, weird song to play? Because that's an upbeat, funny one. And I have two that if I was like chained in a meat locker and these came on, I would be like, well, I don't know what's happening, but I'm probably going to get it.
Okay. All right. So I'm thinking, so it's very on the nose, and that's the point of this, because that guy writes this scene very cliched. So for Bloodshot, it's perfect. But maybe Smashing Pumpkins Today, it's the greatest day. Like, it's very ironic. But if that just started playing and someone started, torturing a person to Today by Smashing Pumpkins, that would hurt. Or maybe not Slow Ride by Foghat. Let's see. So, all right. I think
I can't get that out of my head now. It's like the slow ride, gonna kill you easy.
Like Stranglehold, maybe that could be a Stranglehold. Like I'm picking things that are very on the nose. But you just asked me this question. I'm just naming songs from the Dazed and Confused soundtrack now, which is Sweet Emotion. I'll just rattle off Dazed and Confused. But no, right. I'm gonna go with that. Today by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay. I have two that I think are really weird and disturbing because they're so out of place. The first is Aqua's Barbie Girl.
I'm a Barbie girl
in a Barbie world. Could you imagine like someone dancing down a meat locker to that? Like, you don't know what's going to happen there, right?
Yeah. I would need more than socks and sandals to dance to that song. Yeah. That's a lot for sandals.
Yeah. And I was thinking Message in a Bottle. Is that Christina Aguilera or Jessica Simpson? I can't remember.
Just Genie in a Bottle.
Genie in a Bottle, yeah.
But I think Message in a Bottle is a Jessica Simpson song?
Oh, Genie in a Bottle, baby. That rub me the right way.
Oh yeah, that's Aguilera.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because those are just like really like they don't really fit anything, but they're bizarre. And I'm a big fan of the novel.
I mean, that would be odd. That would let's see. That would give a sense of humor to it. So you'd want to confuse them and then torture them. And if you just played it over and over and over, like Macarena, Toby Kebbell just does the Macarena in front of Bloodshot for 2 hours. That's the torture technique, not heavy metal. 2 years on, how has this movie changed and adapted and grown for you? What is this movie 2 years later for you?
Interesting. I still think it's good. So after we watched it in 2020 and again in 2021, I really went down a comic book rabbit hole. And honestly, I'm pretty excited for a Valiant shared universe and some of the other characters to show up in this. So this, for me, like, it feels like an opportunity to get something that's not Marvel and not DC. And what I like about Valiant a little more than I like DC and Marvel, I mean, they all have their own strengths and weaknesses, is that it feels like Valiant stuff is, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Maybe Bloodshot specifically in this movie is more grounded than the MCU. It looks more natural and more real than all the CGI stuff in the MCU. And specifically, what I mean by this is like Dalton has robotic arms that look like robotic arms. He has legs that look like robotic legs. When you're in the factory, it looks like a real factory. So I guess what I'm getting at is like 2 years on, I'm really hoping that this is a launching point for maybe like 5 movies, like total. Like I don't want like 20, but like 5 other Valiant movies.
I mean, I think I would love to have maybe an Amazon Prime universe of Valiant.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because theatrically, these aren't going to work. And I think in today's market. So if you could do, Invincible's really popular. I know it's animated on Amazon Prime. The Boys is really popular. Actually, Amazon has The Boys. But if the Netflix is if Netflix is looking for content, I think that it could maybe have that. And listen, Megan, I don't know if you're the same as me, but my favorite superhero movie is Unbreakable. One of my other favorite superhero movies are like Constantine, and I love Daredevil, the TV show. I actually really enjoyed Hawkeye because I felt grounded on the MCU show. MCU show. So I would love a more grounded universe. What about you, Meg?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that.
Because it is quite grounded, these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like big space battles and crazy, blasting of cities and tearing down skyscrapers.
And welcome back.
I mean, they sort of destroy one, but
not all of it though.
only a little bit.
I was thinking about the skyscraper destroy. And welcome back. Megan had to step out for a couple seconds. Now she's back. So if you're wondering why she was so quiet, it wasn't because David and I were talking over Megan.
I just couldn't stand it. No, the baby needed quieting.
Yeah. So they do it's a partial skyscraper destruction. They can still fix it. That skyscraper can be salvaged, right? It's just the elevators and some red smoke inside.
True. Well, and they blasted that server room, but I'm sure you could fix that.
The sprinklers can blow it up, right?
Well, and then there's all the structural beam damage that Bloodshot keeps.
Do they fix that every night?
That's a great question.
That
they
is a great
have
question.
to,
Wow.
right? Or is it just the cement and the beam inside is fine? Like the cement is sort of casing it for aesthetics?
Maybe they've just incepted him to punch that one, and there is a metal pole inside of it
I'm
that
sure
is doing
there
the
is.
work. They're just like, maybe he did it once, and they're like, crap, we got to fix this. We put billions of dollars.
I noticed this time how they put tape around the outside of the punching bag because they probably have had to, fix that a few times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of Captain America in that thing, just punching right through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right through it.
Oh, man.
Well, right into the middle of it.
So, Megan, how has this movie changed for you in the last 2 years? Do you love it more? Do you dislike it more? Is it more nuanced? The first time I saw it, you bawled your eyes out. It hit you so hard. Is that the same result now?
Heart-wrenching. No, I think I like it about the same. It's fun. It's just a good rewatch. It's kind of like when I sat down and watched Lockout, I was transfixed. I just couldn't stop watching another Guy Pearce movie. I was like, this is so funny, and I'm really enjoying myself here.
And we got to do Hurricane Heist with Toby Kebbell.
Oh, I love Hurricane Heist.
Hurricane Heist is the best.
Oh, man. And so a quick question for you.
That's our universe right there. It's these guys in other random action movies.
We were just talking about that. Like this movie, I feel like a lot of our favorite actors or a lot of our performances or things that have been good for MFF are in this film. And it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, too, I want to ask y'all something. I read a review where it was positive about Bloodshot. They liked it. But they did say that the first 20 minutes are quite slow. And after, I'm not thinking that the idea incepted me, because I do remember watching it for the first time. And when Vin has that love scene with his wife, you're like, oh, brother, come on, Vin. And he's talking to his troops, and he has a helmet. That helmet just does not look right on Vin. And then you get the Toby Kebbell dancing bit.
On the brow.
Yeah, and then you get the Toby Kebbell dancing bit, which is awesome. But when you watch it, you're like, this is overly stylized. What's going on? And then you have a 10-minute dialogue scene where he learns about nanites and
A lot of yellow tone going on for some reason.
Green.
and so yeah,
Green.
Because it's
and
like
you're kinda-
Matrix. They're trying to do the like whole like they're trying to bait
You're
you
in the
into
sim.
yeah, but they're too subtle about it.
Oh, and so I think it's fine because I know what comes later in the movie. But I do remember watching it for the first time thinking this is a bit slow. And there's one thing that really sets off a lot of action films. You've got to have that cold open to bring people in. You've got to start hot. And I don't think this movie necessarily starts hot. It takes a while to start building. So do you think that is a hindrance for people watch? Because if you are an anti-Vinner and